On the news, 16 inmates escaped from Kefi prison after attacking warders, 7 recaptured. Anambra State Governor Soludo backs Tinubu's reforms, calls for progressive coalition across parties. An Ethiopian airline signs $500 million deal with African Development Bank to build Africa's largest airport. Many thanks for joining News Now on TV360 Nigeria. I'm Simisola Atikun. We begin in Nasarawa State, where 16 inmates have escaped detention from the medium security Kefi Custodial Center. According to a statement made public by the national spokesman of the service, Abubakar Umar, the incident occurred in the early hours of Tuesday, August 12, 2025, after inmates breached facility security, attacking personnel on duty and enabling the 16 inmates to make their escape. During the incident, 5 staff members sustained injuries, with 2 reported to be in serious condition and receiving urgent medical care at a government health facility. Umar added that 7 of the escaped inmates have been recaptured and returned to custody. While emphasizing the gravity of the incident, the Controller General of Corrections, Sylvester Nwakuche, who visited the facility, announced a thorough investigation into the escape, warning that no staff will be spared if found culpable. Nwakuche also ordered an immediate manhunt to recapture the remaining escaped inmates, directing full collaboration with sister security agencies. Now, amid recent incidents of air passenger rage in the country, the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority has promised fairness over the Ibom Air incident involving a passenger and a cabin crew, but warned that unruly behavior will be dealt with within the ambit of the law. Monday's incident comes after Fuji artist Wasiu Ayinde, popularly known as Kwam1, was banned by the NCAA for 6 months over his unruly behavior at the Abuja airport. Speaking on a televised interview, the NCAA's Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, Mike Achimugu, clarified the airline's role in the 2 recent passenger incidents, saying that it is not the agency but the airline, Ibom Air, that pressed charges against Comfort Emanson. Achimugu said while the airline has the right to pursue prosecution, parties can still settle out of court if they agree, allowing for possible withdrawal of the case. He emphasized that unruly behavior is unacceptable globally and stressed the importance of passengers obeying cabin crew instructions for safety. And President Bola Tinubu has hosted Anambra State Governor Charles Soludo at the presidential villa in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, on Tuesday, August 12. Speaking with State House correspondents after the meeting with the president, the governor described their discussion during the meeting, where he openly declared his support for Tinubu while commending his economic and structural reforms. The governor says progressives across party lines should unite to deepen democracy and drive Nigeria's economic and social development. On the issue of insecurity in Anambra State, Soludo outlined a comprehensive approach combining kinetic and non-kinetic measures, adding that the state's Homeland Security Law, passed in January, has helped curb criminality, while youth empowerment programs have created thousands of jobs.
These caps were produced even from the time the president visited Anambra State. And you saw all the billboards and all the stuff, proclaiming that progressives are working together. And subsequently, it's a fundamental idea that I believe very strongly, that all the political parties who profess progressivism should actually come on together in a massive coalition, to deepen the process not only of our democracy, but also of economic and social development of our country. And so for me, when I say progressives working together, it's a call for all those who call on that. And then talk about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I mean, I don't make any, I have no apologies about it. President Tinubu is my friend, has been my friend, 22 years now, and counting. So You don't deny your friend. I'll begin to be quivery about who is. He is my friend. I support him. And I'm impressed by the bold steps he has taken, particularly in the areas of the economy, the structural reforms. And I have said so severally. We're taking the right steps. We only need to stay the course.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has raised concern over the significant challenges posed by climate change, which endanger ecosystems and communities in the African continent, despite abundance of human and natural resources. Tinubu highlighted this concern through the Permanent Secretary, Political and Economic Affairs Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation in his keynote address at the 2025 Africa Infrastructure, Climate Change and Investment Summit in Abuja. While he noted that Africa is standing at a crossroad with respect to climate change, Tinubu urged fellow African nations and global partners to collaborate on enhancing climate finance, sharing expertise, and developing innovative adaptation solutions tailored to the unique needs of Africa.
Nigeria recognizes that climate change is not merely an environmental concern. It is a profound economic and security challenge. Our farmers face unpredictable seasons. Our coastal cities confront rising sea levels, while our industries adapt to shifting realities. That is why Nigeria is implementing a robust climate action.
This summit provides a timely platform to foster collaboration, share knowledge, and develop actionable strategies for advancing infrastructure, combating climate change, and accelerating growth investment, green investment across our continent. Nigeria is fully committed to the goals and objectives of the summit. As a nation, we recognize the urgency of building climate-resilient communities, modernizing infrastructure, strengthening partnerships, and creating an enabling environment that empowers our people and attracts responsible investment.
We are actions to protect our coasts, promoting renewable energy and ensure sustainably developing and live now one began. We firmly believe in the potential of cooperation between Cuba and Africa, and especially to Nigeria, to exchange technology and experience that will strengthen our capacity of facing this global challenge.
Now let's go back to our top story. On the prison break in Nasarawa State, I'm joined by security expert and a former assistant director at the Department of State Services, Mr. Dennis Amakri. Mr. Amakri, thank you very much for joining us. Now, based on available information, what does this incident now, what does it say about the nation's infrastructure in our prison facilities, as well as the level of preparedness by our security agencies and officials?
Thank you very much. You see, we've talked about this, even when Kuje was broken into and other prisons in the country. And actually, what they need is a comprehensive approach in dealing with this problem. Majorly, we're talking of infrastructural issues. We're talking of overcrowding, because the prisons are very, very, even for the maximum and medium size prisons, you know, it's overcrowded. Corruption is a big problem, because most of the officers they receive gratification and then, of course, bend the rules. Inadequate training. Many of them don't know why they are there, because we don't see how a prison will be broken. The inmates are watching, and they know when the warders there are, supposed to take care of the security of the place. And then, of course, we've had Boko Haram attacks from outside, and then we have the one inside. And all this is because of poor funding. The prisons are not designed to be correctional facilities. They are basically designed as cages where they just lock up people. So I think there's a myriad of things to be done about the prison system, the correctional system, to really earn its name as a correctional center.
This sort of incidents raise concerns about the integrity of correctional facilities. In your first response, you mentioned the role of the judiciary now. I mean, how serious is that factor in this issue, these instances of prison breaks in Nigeria?
Well, you find out that the judiciary has a lot of role to play. And in this very situation, we'll find out that first of all, everybody who is supposed to be in jail is sent to prison. And by this, I mean that there's a difference between jail and prison. The jail is a holding cell that police people use in holding people awaiting trial, and then, of course, criminals, whoever is arrested. And those people are supposed to appear before a judge in either 24 hours or 48 hours. But the prison, when you go to court, the judges are not differentiating these two, and they just send you straight to jail if you cannot pay a bail, or if they have adjourned the case, they send you to prison, and the prison becomes overcrowded. We've had situations where people who are not guilty until they are found guilty, staying in prison for almost 20 years, and that is not right. So the judiciary itself has a lot to do about this.
Well, hopefully the remaining 9 inmates are recaptured quickly for public safety. Mr. Dennis Amakri, many thanks for sharing your thoughts with us on the news. In commemoration of the 2025 International Youth Day, youth leaders are urging increased support from the government and stakeholders, emphasizing that young people play a vital role in accelerating the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. This year's theme, Local Youth Actions for the SDGs and Beyond, highlights the power of grassroots initiatives in key drivers for achieving the SDGs and sustaining progress beyond 2030. TV360's Comfort Samuel has more in this report.
According to the United Nations, the global youth population, defined as those aged 15 to 24, is approximately 1.2 billion, representing about 16% of the world's population, making the current generation of young people the largest in history. However, several challenges, including unemployment, limited access to quality education, inadequate health care, and the impact of climate change and conflict on their future, limits their full potential. In many countries, including Nigeria, young people also face social exclusion, gender inequality, and a lack of opportunities to participate in decision-making processes.
Essentially, we young people, we have the resources, we have the skills, we have the energy, we have the ideas, we have the initiatives to essentially provide solutions to problems in our local communities. And because we live in these communities, we can see where the gaps are, we can see where the solutions need to be placed. And essentially what we need is basically support from the government, from bilateral organizations, to ensure that we're able to provide these solutions to these problems.
I believe that there should be a clear pathway on how young people would actively get engaged in SDG decision platforms or where platforms where SDG decisions are being made in Nigeria, so that it can also be inclusive. They can make their voice known, and it can be very inclusive of young people.
In the face of these challenges, young people in Nigeria, like their peers around the world, are driving transformative change from climate action and technological innovation to education, reform, and community development. Experts say, to tackle these current challenges and advance the UN Sustainable Development Goals, policies must focus on skill development and job creation. Youth inclusion is also crucial, stressing that encouraging young people's participation in decision-making processes ensures their voices are heard and that policies effectively reflect their needs.
There's evidence that young people are already providing solutions to different SDGs, to quality education, to climate action, to gender equality, especially like the confidence community. What we are trying to bridge is the gender gap in education, in leadership, essentially helping young women become more aware of themselves so that they can become better leaders in whatever sphere they find themselves.
Even the Lagos State Youth Ambassadors, we've had the 5 divisions. We've implemented projects across the 5 divisions of Lagos State: Ikeja Division, Badagry, Ikorodu, Lagos, and Ekpe. And each of these projects have gone ahead to empower other young people who have seen the magnitude of what young persons like them are doing and have also come on board to ensure that they are also change makers.
With 2030 fast approaching, the call is louder than ever. Local youth action is not just part of the SDG journey, it is the engine driving it. By investing in young people today, Nigeria must work to meet global demands while building a legacy of leadership, innovation, and resilience for generations to come. Comfort Samuel, TV360 News, Lagos.
It's time for a quick break. When news now returns, OIC condemns killing of journalists in Gaza, calls for international action. Stay with us for details. Welcome back. Let's take you through our main stories. 16 inmates have escaped detention from the medium security Kefi Custodial Center in Nasarawa State, according to a statement made public by the national spokesman of the service, Abubakar Umar. The incident occurred in the early hours of Tuesday, August 12, after inmates breached facility security, attacking personnel on duty and enabling the 16 inmates to make their escape. While 7 of the escaped inmates have been recaptured and returned to custody, the Controller General of Corrections, Sylvester Nwakuje, who visited the facility, said an immediate manhunt to recapture the remaining escaped inmates is in full swing. We also informed you that President Bola Tinubu has hosted Anambra State Governor Charles Soludo at the Presidential Villa in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, on Tuesday, August 12. Speaking with State House correspondents after the meeting, the governor described the discussion with the president as where he openly declared his support for Tinubu while commending his economic and structural reforms. In case you missed any of our news bulletins, so for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and AVO TV, or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery, and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're TV360 Online. Let's switch to business. Joy Chejim joins us with the latest. Over to you, Joy.
Thank you, Simi, and welcome to Business News. Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria has reaffirmed its commitment to deepening financial inclusion through technology with a focus on alternative payment channels. This was the focus at the CBN Fair held in Lagos, themed Driving Alternative Payment Channels as Tools for Financial Inclusion, Growth and Accelerated Economic Development. Speakers at the event clarified the difference between traditional banks and mobile money operators, noting that while the latter offer banking-like services, they are not licensed banks. The central bank says it remains a key stakeholder in building a financially inclusive Nigeria through policy, education, and innovation.
Some people go receive call. They go say, oh, you don't win so money from MTN. And they go say, oh, we want you give us the number where they on top your card. You go give them the number where they the front. Give them the one where they the back. Give them the PAN number and everything where they on top. Even the expiry date, you will come give them the PIN join. You don't finish. And then they will come, they come on your money, and then you will now say, oh, this bank, they do it. They come on my money, they come on my money. But now you, the customer, don't compromise. Make sure you keep your information safe. Your bank already has any information that they require from you. Your bank already has any information that they require from you. You have a duty to keep all your information accurate. If you change address, make sure say you go your bank, go update them.
Some people come to ask, how can I invest in treasury bill? You do these things with your bank. You go to your bank and find out some banks, for these bonds and treasury bills, some banks deal with only high net worth individual, people who get plenty money. But I also know some banks that with 100,000 naira, you can buy your bond. Some bank go say, if you no reach 20,000 naira, they no go sell. Some go say 20 million naira. Some go say 50 million. But I know that some banks, with your 100,000 naira, you can start buying bond and you're saving and you're investing for your future. And it's very safe. You know, they're like MMM. What's that one? What was that last one that happened? You know, they're like that one. Imagine when Nigeria borrow money from you, then go pay now. Then go pay you. You sure say you go get your money back. So for this treasury bill, we have it in 3 tranches. You can invest in the 3 months, you can invest in the 6 months, you can invest in the 1 year.
And still in the world of business, Ethiopian Airlines Group and the African Development Bank have signed a mandate letter to finance the development of what is poised to become Africa's largest airport, a state-of-the-art aviation hub in Bishoftu, Ethiopia. The agreement signed on August 11 designates the AFDB as the initial mandated lead arranger for the project's financing. As part of the deal, the bank will provide $500 million in loans and lead efforts to mobilize additional funding for the Greenfield facility, which will be located in Abu Sera, approximately 40 kilometers south of Addis Ababa. Ethiopia Airlines stated that upon completion, the new airport will have an initial capacity to handle 60 million passengers annually, with the potential to expand to 110 million, placing it among the world's largest aviation hubs and significantly boosting Africa's air connectivity. We'll now go on a short break and return with updates from the stock markets. Welcome back. Now, the Nigerian equities market continued its upward streak today, gaining 0.2% to stay in green territory. This latest boost pushed total market cap to 92.42 trillion naira. Now, a total of 128 stocks traded on the NGX, with 49 of them posting gains and 30 recording losses. Topping the gainers chart was AXA Mansard Insurance, which boosted a 10% jump in share price, followed by Champion Breweries. And by the close of trading, over 1.27 billion shares were exchanged in more than 31,000 deals, amounting to a market value just over 24 billion naira. Now, compared to Monday's session, trade volume dropped by 40%, while turnover actually rose by 25%. However, the number of deals dipped by 23%. Now, globally, markets rallied on Tuesday. U.S. consumer inflation data did little to shake investor confidence, while many still expect the Federal Reserve to announce an interest rate cut come September. And a pause in U.S.-China trade tensions also helped lift global sentiment, sending all our selected global indices into positive territory. Now, on the currency front, the Naira traded at 1,565 Naira to the US dollar, 2,115 Naira to the British pound, and 1,790 Naira to the euro. And that's your business and stock market update. Back to you, Simi, for the rest of the bulletin.
Thank you very much, Joy. Another foreign saying the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC, has condemned the killing of journalists Anas Al-Sharif and Mohammed Koriki, along with several other media professionals, following Israel's targeting of a journalist's tent in Gaza City. The organization said these actions form part of what it called systemic violations against the media aimed at obstructing the flow of information to the global community. In a statement, the OIC described the attack as a violation of international law and a breach of press freedom, noting that 242 journalists have been killed in the occupied Palestinian territory since October 7, 2023. And on sports, the Zain Atri 2005 summer camp at Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos offered an exciting blend of learning and fun for children aged 8 to 11. Over the course of 2 weeks, participants developed grit, confidence and focus, while the parents and guardians enjoyed moments of pride and satisfaction. With a mission to promote archery among Nigerian youth, the Zain Archery Foundation also donated equipment to outstanding young athletes, encouraging them to aspire to represent Nigeria at the Olympics. The winner of the Under-11 category, Lukman Olushasi, shared his thoughts on the benefits of archery and his future ambitions.
These participants were really, it was really engaging, the summer camp. They learned quite a lot during the summer camp, and then we've seen the improvements even in the way and manner they are shooting today. Kudos to the parents for bringing them, and kudos to the coaches also for teaching them, and kudos to the children also for gaining interest in archery. I mean, it's not every kid you see that will want to really start practicing the game of archery, but these ones have found their interest in archery. And I think it's a good way for them to go.
I kept on seeing archery in some of the fields I watch, the games I play. I sometimes see it in the places I go. So I decided to try it for myself. And I went to my sister's school to go to an amusement park which had archery inside, so I could practice it. I was good at first, and then I started doing better. And then I graduated from school, and that's how my mom asked me if I would practice archery, and then I said yes, that I would love to. And then I came across Zen Archery, which was the place that gave me hope to soon become the greatest archer, and that leads to this point where I got gold medal and with the most points in this class.
I think he has taught them focus and then ability to also compete and go for something, like reach out for something and then try your best to win. Fortunately, they didn't win today, but I've told her that in life, that's how life is. So lessons of life are being experienced, that sometimes you don't always win, but if you are consistent, losers end up becoming winners when they are consistent.
And it's a wrap on our bulletin. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you some other time.